offensive tool development. Okay? So I don't care if you block everything, because if you block everything, you don't hit them back, it doesn't matter, you're still getting beat up. Tool development is, yes, I'm developing my jab and my cross and my knee, but it's also, eventually it's my combinations. However, in level 2, you're trying to prevent that person from being able to finish combinations. So a really good foundation guy says, I can do this, 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 this. A good guy in defense will allow you to do this and pretty much nothing else. So we feel really good when we can finish our sentences, when we finish our talks. Doesn't it really upset you when you're talking to someone and they cut you off? Right? What do you think you're doing every time? This is my fiance, by the way. We don't ever have that issue. But if you're talking and somebody's cut me off right now in the middle of talking, people will be like, what happened? And that's exactly what it is. Nobody expects that every day you do jab, cross, hook, cross, knee, jab, cross, hook, cross, knee. And all of a sudden you're ready to fight, you go in there and the guy goes jab and he hits you back with a jab. And you're not frustrated you're getting hit, you're just like, nobody got a chance to see what I can do. You see, every fighter who loses, they always say the same thing. I wish everybody got a chance to see how good I was. Well, what makes you think you're good? If you were good, you were able to finish everything. That's why we debate. All fighting and sparring is, it's a physical debate. I'm going to say something, you better say something better. I'm going to say something, I hesitate, I got to think, then he hits me again. Then he says something again. Then he asks me a question that I can't answer. And if that's what it is, it's a verbal debate turned physical, that's exactly it. But if you just say something random, just like your attack is random, no one will respect it, it won't make sense, and the other person will wind up with combinations. And that's how people get beat up. Does everybody understand that?
Yes, sir.
So level 1 is defined as what? Say it slowly. And then conditioning, not conditioning first. You got to learn the tools first. But if all the tools are there and you don't have enough endurance to execute it, then it doesn't make a difference either. People could win in 2 rounds and lose the 3rd, but they lose completely and they wind up losing everything that they built up in the first 2 rounds. Okay? That's what we're trying to prevent. Your job is to graduate level 1 and go into level 2, so it's level 2. Raise your hand, don't shout out. Defensive, actually, it's not defensive tool development, it's defensive strategy. Okay? That's part 1, defensive strategy. The second part of that is the art of pad holding. So technically your offensive was pad hitting, your defensive strategy and pad, you know why? Yeah, kind of fierce, right? If I can hold for him and look at it and look at it and look at it, I'm kind of not, I don't want to say I'm not going to be impressed, but if I could stand in a pocket and hold for it and not close my eyes or turn my back, at least I know I have a chance of having defense. Because I can look at him and I'm desensitizing myself to whatever he can throw. The guy was about to swing a bat at you. The most sure way for you to lose is to close your eyes and just cover your head. That's the most sure way for you to lose. The best way to win is to actually look at the guy, let him run at you, swing, and in the last second then you can move. But you have to have your wits about you. You have to know that you have the confidence to do that. And then you start to bring in your footwork. And then you have to bring all your courage back in there. Because it's actually a little courageous to be able to stand there and hold for a kick. That's number 1. I respect everyone who can hold that. But not all people can do that in day 1. So I expect people to be okay, then better, and then be very good at it. But the only way that you can stay good at something is through the consistency of training. Does that make sense? What does it take to be for level 3? Don't worry about it. You're not there yet. Get to level 2, then we'll talk about level 3. All right? So very good tonight. You know why I like it warm? You know I don't turn on the air conditioning in here? I said something earlier in class. I don't know if anyone said. I said it to you. You know what I said? Why should you train comfortably? Because a fight isn't comfortable. Okay? If you're in the middle of the fight and someone said, keep your hands up, and you said, okay, and then that's when you get knocked out. Right? So if you're in the middle of punching and I turned off half the lights, don't drop your hands and say what happened. So everything is going to be there. The way you breathe, why is it better for you to breathe this way? Because when your adrenaline kicks in, your breathing's not going to be normal. So don't expect all your shots to be there. Don't expect that every time the guy holds, it's going to be perfect, because the guy's never always going to stand there and let you hit him. So it's never always going to be the same. And your partner is not always going to be your size either. Okay? Most of the people in the room here are taller than me. I have to adjust. Don't feel bad for me. I want to make it uncomfortable for you. So think about how that's going to work too. Does everybody understand that? Sure. So there's a lot of people in here. You know what that means? is a lot of times you show up to class and you'll get at least some sort of opportunity to work with somebody else once. If you get that, that's a whole lot better than the guys that said, yeah, I trained with my uncle in the garage for 20 years. You trained with one guy who showed you the same style over and over and over again. Unless the guy who jumps you in the street is your uncle, you have no idea how somebody's going to act. Okay? Anybody got those uncles? Jump out in the street? No? All right. Where are you going to be on Saturday?